Hello and welcome. My name is Katherine Walters, and I'm the host for the Joyful You Summit. I'm an intuitive healer and joy coach, and in my practice, Guided Change, I help people who are stressed and overwhelmed experience more joy and happiness in their lives. I have gathered 22 amazing speakers for this series, and they are going to share tips and tools and techniques that will help all of us experience more joy, happiness, create vitality and positivity, and have more fun and even play in our lives. Now, today joining me is Dr. Lara Romero, and I'm really excited that she's here because she's an amazing intuitive transformational mentor and also an energy worker. So we're just so blessed to have Dr. Lara here with us today. So welcome, Dr. Lara. Thanks for being here on the Joyful You Summit.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm really honored to be here.
Oh, that's excited. Awesome. Oh, good. Yeah, you look excited. So great. That's awesome. So we're all smiling and happy, but can you tell our viewers, what's your story? What prompted you to become an energy worker and a transformational mentor? What drew you to that?
Well, when I was 9, I kind of had like an awakening where I was sitting in the backyard and I kind of was looking around and just kind of realized on a really deep level that there was more to life than what I could see. And then things went on, my life went on, and when I was 18, my dad told me that I was a healer. And I was brought up Catholic. And in the Catholic religion, being a healer is no bueno. That is not good.
I know.
And that scared me. And so I shut it down. I wanted nothing to do with it. No way. And so I just kind of lived my life. And I got to the point in my early 20s where I was getting really depressed. And I was coming home from my boyfriend's house. He lived about 40 minutes from where I lived, and he worked nights. So I was driving home, and I was so tired on the freeway. And I was having a conversation with God. And I pretty much said, I need more to life. I need to know that I'm here for a reason, because this isn't cutting it. And I remember my last thought when I was driving was, if I fell asleep at the wheel and had an accident and died, I would be totally fine with that. And if I happened to survive, then I would know for sure that I was here for a reason. So that was my last thought. And I fell asleep at the wheel. And I went over 4 lanes of traffic. Wow. And this was like 11:30 at night on the 5 freeway in California. And, miraculously, I didn't hit any cars. And I woke up on the side of the road. And it was kind of on the shoulder. So it was bumpy. And I woke up in this pole. I was heading right towards this pole. And I thought that my foot was on the brake, but it was actually on the gas. So my car sped up and turned it right back onto the freeway towards the center divider, turned that, and then my car stalled facing traffic. And then after I got my wits about me, I turned the car on and I went to the side of the road, and all the cars had stopped and watched the whole thing. And then they kept driving. Nobody stopped to see how I was, which is really, I couldn't believe it. And that I didn't hit anything or any cars. So that for me was my wake up call. It's like, okay, I know I'm here for a reason. I just didn't know quite what it was. So as the years went on, I battled with depression. I battled with alcoholism and all of that kind of stuff. And it wasn't until probably a couple years ago that I really stepped into being a healer, my life purpose.
Sure.
And that's kind of what made me step into it. Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that, because I know I have a similar story, and I know many of people watching this also have similar stories where, you do get that heavy wake up call, I did very much the same thing with God in the conversation. And I was like, okay, fine. If you want me here, then you better show me my purpose, because otherwise I'm ready to leave the planet. And that depression piece really hits. And it's partially, I think, because we are meant to do the service work that you are doing. So then how did you move on from there to experience more joy and happiness?
Well, once I got through my depression, I figured out what it was. It was because, when I was younger, I was taught to swallow everything. I wasn't allowed to have feelings. I wasn't allowed to be angry. And I grew up in a really tumultuous house. My dad was an alcoholic. There was a lot of fighting. The police were at our house a lot. There was, physical violence, a lot of abuse. And I swallowed a lot. And it wasn't until I started to deal with that, to forgive and to let go of the blame of what happened in my life. And it wasn't until I began to take responsibility for myself that things began to shift for me. Because when we take responsibility, that gives us the power that we can change it. When we're blaming others, we take on the victim role. And as a victim, we don't feel like we can do anything.
Right.
So I think that was the big turning point for me. The realization is that, take responsibility for who I am, what I'm doing.
Right. And I like the way you also mentioned about forgiveness and releasing, letting those go, because those are really big issues when we've had, homes where we grew up in where there was a lot of abuse. But that you really nailed it, I think, when you said about taking responsibility, because I know you're going to tell me, no, this was not an easy journey, was it?
Oh, no.
No. And it was a lot of hard work as well.
Yes, it was.
And I think many of us in our culture, our society, we think it can be a quick fix, but it's not like that.
You're right. It's not. And it's really sad because people, they don't want to feel. And what happens is that when we don't want to feel, we keep ourselves here. And this is being numb. So the level that we allow ourselves to feel pain and sadness and hurt, down here, these negative emotions are not really negative, but they don't feel good, is the amount that we're able to feel the joy and the happiness, which is, elation. And if you're not willing to feel those feelings that are uncomfortable, there's no way you're going to be able to feel the joy and the ecstasy that is available. So where a lot of people operate, it's right here. I'm not going to feel that, so then I'm not going to feel that. And a lot of people are numb to a lot of things. Absolutely.
And I mean, you said that so beautifully, that, that up and that you can't experience the highs unless you've been down to the depths. And, it really is true. I also like, many people numb out. And we can think of many ways that people do it, whether it's alcohol or drugs or shopping or gambling or sex, whatever. It's just that way to not feel. So I'm really glad that you brought that up, because we do have to feel.
And something else you said, there's no quick fix. There really isn't. And it's part of the journey that makes us who we are, because if we just get stuff taken away from us, I have this pain, just take this pain. Because I have a lot of clients that are like, can you just take this pain away from me? And I'm like, well, I can take the pain from generations back. I can clear that, but I'm not going to clear it from you today, because in our pain, that's where we find our strength. That's where we find our intuition. That's where we learn our lesson. And that's where we step into the possibilities of us being who we are. It's all about the journey, but people are so afraid, maybe because, and I've heard this before, if they open that floodgate of emotion, they think they're going to stay there.
Right.
And they're not. And that's what's so important, is that if you just recognize it and you just feel that, even for a few minutes, then that energy can release and you'll feel so much better. But people they're like this because they're so busy stuffing and holding on to it and trying to look outside so they don't have to deal with what is within them. But if you just recognize it and feel it
Mm-hmm.
and let it go, then you can move beyond it.
That is so true. I mean, it really is allowing ourselves to feel, allowing and modeling for our, since you're a mom, I know, it's like modeling for your children that they can feel so that they, it's okay. And we do allow little, like toddlers and little children to express their feelings, but then we shut them down. So can you comment on that? Like, how do we shut the children's joy down?
How do we shut it down?
And their feelings, I should say.
Well, yeah, because if things aren't nice and happy, we don't want them to feel it. And as a mother, I think for me, it's a reflection on me as a mother if my children are happy. If my children aren't happy, then I've done something wrong. And that was when they were younger. Now I have two girls, they're 9 and 14. And it was interesting you bring this up because just the other day, they were kind of nitpicking at each other and fighting with each other, and which is normal, but it was more so. So I sat them down and I said, look, I said, you're blaming your sister for this and you're blaming your sister for that. What's going on in your life right now that you're not dealing with or that you aren't aware of because you're taking your frustration out on each other? And it turns out, like my younger one, her best friend is moving. And she didn't know how to articulate that. She wasn't even aware. She knew she was upset, but she just didn't get it. And my other daughter, she was worried about her project in school. But you see, and that's the thing about being aware of what's going on with yourself, because when you're not, then you just have these feelings and it's like, you attack people. So I sat them down and we talked about what's really bothering you. And it's just offering that space to just sit and listen. And even personally, if we don't have anyone to sit and listen to us, get a journal out or go for a walk in nature and listen so you can really get in touch with what's happening. And so after that conversation we had with them, there were tears. A lot of tears, but there wasn't accusations. There wasn't any blaming. And after the conversation, we all went in our separate ways. My daughter, it's so funny. She's got a closet underneath our stairs. She loves Harry Potter. She's like, oh, I want that for my space. Into her closet. And my other daughter went outside and dealt with the tears and the frustration and the anger. I didn't sit there and say, oh, let's feel this now. I didn't do that. I gave them the responsibility because they're going to have to learn how to do that. And, I can't be there to take it away from them all the time. So they went and they did their thing, and I went and I did my thing and cleared my energy. And, after that, they were happy. They felt so much better. That weight had been lifted. And it was just because they acknowledged it and they had a space to talk about it and they felt their emotions and they cried and they screamed or they hit something, not each other, but hit a pillow or whatever it was.
Oh, that's a fabulous illustration because, it really shows what parents can do to help their children. So, and I love how you shared where they felt they expressed themselves. They had the space to do it. They felt their feelings and then, released them. And then they went to their space to sort of deal, process, integrate everything. And then once that, they feel so much lighter when all that is over and they're back to joy and happiness again. Mm-hmm. And that's a process that, I suspect you do for yourself, that you model to your girls. And it's just, that's the way. Now, I'm just wondering, is that one of the ways that you stay in joy and happiness?
Yes, that's one of the ways. And what my benchmarker is, if something's going on with me, is I can't sleep at night. And so if I'm up worried about something, or if I'm just going, what's going on? I go downstairs and I journal. And I did that for years, and I still do that. Writing a book will do that.
And we're going to talk about that book. But again, some more important tips I want to highlight for our viewers, which are the journaling. It's the taking time for yourself. And also you said something earlier, which was listen. Listen to what's going on inside of yourself. So in other words, it's basically be present with yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah. Another thing I do, I go for a walk. We have a beautiful lake where we live. I go without headphones. I call in the elements. I just ask my angels to come in. What is it that I need to hear today? Or if I'm feeling frustrated, what is this? Please present it to me, or whatever it is. And it takes me about 45 minutes to walk around the lake. And even today, before I had this interview, I was like, what's going on with me? And it was like, and it was just, it's stepping into something larger than what I've been used to. And there was anxiety there. And so what I've learned is that we're always going to evolve. As long as we're going to grow, we're going to get pushed out of our comfort zone. Mm-hmm. And we're always going to have these feelings. But what happens when you learn how to deal with them, they come and you're more aware of it, and then you can release it. And it's not as traumatic. It's not as painful. It's like, and that's one thing when you first start diving into yourself, it can be so scary. It can
Keep going.
be so overwhelming. That because they don't want to go there. But the fear that you have is bigger than going there.
Right. Really well said. And you were unstable for just a little bit, so I'm just going to repeat. It was like really stepping into the fear, not letting the fear overwhelm you.
Right.
Okay, because you were our connection was a little iffy, so that's why I repeated that for you. I know, Dr. Lara, that you have a wonderful process that you're actually going to share with all of our viewers, which is really exciting because I haven't. None of the speakers so far have included a process. So I'm really excited to participate in this. So would you set it up for us, and then let the viewers know what they might, not what they might experience, because every person's experience is unique, but just tell them what you're going to do, so they are comfortable already.
It's interesting that that's coming, because the unstableness, that's part of the energy that's coming through right now. That happened on another interview when I was doing the process, so it's all part of it. So, because my husband, he always gives me a hard time with technology because it just goes wonky on me, but that's part of it's the energy that's around.
I get it. I totally understand.
So anyway, what I'm going to do, what I've already done, I've connected with my angels, with my higher self, with the beings that I work with. I call them luminaries. They're from the 9th dimension. And basically what I do is I hold the space for people like yourself and all of your viewers to experience the energy and to experience transformation if that's what they want. So basically I'm a container, and what I will do, I'll just close my eyes and tell you what I see, because they do the work. I'm just the messenger. So they can close their eyes, they can keep them open, whatever it is they want to do. And I don't even know what's going to come out right now. So we'll just see how it goes.
Awesome. I know the feeling, and so people can either close their eyes or sit with them open and just be open vehicles. Just be open and let themselves receive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do that, and I'll help with that too.
Okay. Oh, great. Well, I'm just going to do the same. I'm going to leave my eyes open. Well, maybe I'll close them. I don't know, and just go for it.
Okay. All right. So let's just set the intention that the joy that's available to us today opens up, that we experience what it is we're truly here to experience. And that today, something within us will be ignited for us to move forward into our purpose, into our joy, into being expressions of love. So now what's happening is the crown chakras are opening up, and light is coming in to each one of the chakras. And it's coming down into your body. And it's connecting with your heart. And as it's connecting with your heart, it's kind of swirling about, it's kind of opening up that chakra. And now it looks like it's like a firecracker, like it's starting to burst and it's starting to emanate out. And now they're telling me that this energy that's coming from the top of your head, from the universe that's connected to your heart, they're bringing it down closer to your essence, to where you hold the soul in your body. And they're connecting with that. And what they're telling me is that they are kind of giving you a nudge, helping you remember why you're here. Because every single person that is on this planet right now has a divine mission, has a purpose. And it could be big or it could be small, but they're all the same. It doesn't matter. So what they're doing is they're encasing your soul, and they're kind of igniting that once again to help you remember. And they're bringing that energy into your body, and it's like your body is being illuminated by the essence from within you. And now it's outside of your body, and it's connecting with the souls that you need to connect with. It's connecting with the energy that's going to help you move forward. And it's continuing to move forward and out. And I can see that the people on this call, it's like a collective consciousness. Mm-hmm. And there's we're all connected through the matrix. And we're all connecting with each other. Okay, and now they're telling me that they're bringing in like a blue, comforting, healing energy that's going to come in. And this energy is to help with your process of finding joy. They're telling me that they're bringing in courage and commitment on your behalf for you to be able to move forward. And it's almost like it's like a blanket. They're putting a blanket of love around you and a blanket of courage and of comfort. So when you go forward with this willingness to expand and do what it is you're here to do, you have the courage to do it. So whatever comes your way, you know that you have the ability to do it. Okay. So that energy is encapsulating all of your cells. It's all of your whole being. And they're telling me that they want to thank every person that is on this call, and to you, Catherine, for hosting this, to bring these souls together, because the energy that's coming in with each person that's listening to this, it's moving things forward at a rapid pace. And they're very grateful that we have provided ourselves to be available to this energy. So I'm thanking them. And if it feels right for you to start to bring yourself back into your body and to the top of your head, and to just kind of, you don't have to close it, but just imagine the light kind of coming in just at a lesser pace, so you're not buzzing for the rest of the day. Okay, they're telling me it's complete.
Wow, that was wonderful. You can feel the shift in all the energy. Yeah, thank you. That was really, I can, with all my heart, and thank you for the tears too. Yeah. It was just so beautiful. and that you could feel the blanket and the firecracker, and just how they were just I love how they were connecting all of us together.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever's listening to this or viewing this in the future, just to like feel that energy. We're all one. And that was mentioned here. And we're all working to helping each other experience more joy and happiness. That was really beautiful. Really, really beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm honored.
Oh,
Honored to do that.
It's getting me tingles and chills and all of that. So that's why I'm wiggling around, everybody. Okay, so Dr. Lara, I know I'm bringing you back from a place that was just so deep. So I'll let you take a moment to breathe, but I know you have a free offer or a free gift that you would like to share with everyone. So can you please tell us a little bit about that?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's a grounding meditation, and so oftentimes we just start our day hitting the ground running, and it's only a 7-minute meditation, and it's just here to help bring your energy, to focus your energy in, so you're able to move forward in your day with clarity and with purpose, and it also wraps healing and comforting and protective energy around you. So as you go throughout the day, energy is not being pulled from you, or you're not picking up other people's energy. And it's a really wonderful way to start your morning. I mean, you don't even have to get out of bed yet. Plug your earphones in and take 7 minutes and just center yourself in for the day.
Oh, and that is so important. I know many people don't realize that, when they're centered and grounded, then all the other energies don't have to bombard them, or they don't feel drained at the end of the day. So I highly encourage I know I'm going to listen to it on a regular basis and add that on to something. I do something similar, but, it's always nice to sort of, you amp up the energy when you try something new. And, you really, because, the subconscious mind can get bored and like, oh, turn it off. And it's not as meaningful. So when you bring in a tool like you're suggesting, that will just be really fabulous. And there's also other really good news that I would love to have you share. And that is, tell us about your book that's coming out and when it's coming out, all of that.
Oh, wow. Well, I have a book coming. And it was told to me years ago that I had a book in me, and I had no idea what I was going to do. And I still had no idea, but I asked. I said, what is it that I need to write about? And they told me, just journal. So I started journaling, and what came out, it's the story of my life. How I, battled alcoholism, how I grew up in a tumultuous home, the way I viewed my body, and my healing journey, and what I've done, and basically, it's an autobiography of my life and what has happened to me and how I've gotten through it. It's called Reveal Your Magnificence.
Oh, Reveal Your Magnificence. And so you're basically, sharing your story, you're helping everyone who reads it to look inside and see their own magnificence.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, there's two purposes for a story. You can hang on to your story and be in it, or you can share it and heal from it, inspire others. So
absolutely. And you are definitely doing that. So we thank you. Just awesome. Dr. Lara, for the process, for all that you've shared. Just thank you from the bottom of my heart for just being on the Joyful You Summit. It's just been a delight. And so I look forward to chatting with you more, because you just have so much to share, and your healing is just amazing. So told you, everybody, this was going to be awesome, and it certainly was. So thank you, and I hope to see you soon. Namaste.
Thank you.